153 cases with 22,115 deaths.
All right.
Thank you.
Our public health nurse, Esther.
Good morning. Over the weekend, we got 6 new cases in, bringing our town total to a 31 for positive cases. A total of 156 residents have been tested, and we're still holding at 11 recovered to date.
Thank you, Esther. Board of Health Agent, Bruce.
Good morning, everybody. Just a couple of things I want to touch on. When you're out at the supermarkets, please pay attention to the one-way markers on the floor here. We're trying to maintain that social distancing. Governor Baker had asked for this, and it does help so that you're not passing in the aisle. So, please pay attention to that. I know I was out to the store, and it doesn't appear that anybody noticed them, but, look for them, one-way traffic. And then another thing that's come to light here is the flushing of the wipes or your wipes down the drain. They will clog up any plumbing. They will clog up the sewage system in the town. If you're putting them into your septic, you're going to destroy your septic. So please, dispose of the wipes in the trash and knock down the drain.
Thank you, Bruce. And that's a good segue to our representative from DPW, Jesse Riddell.
Good morning, everybody. Just a couple things that we wanted to talk about here at the DPW. As the Board of Health already talked about as far as the wipes. Please be cognizant of what's being flushed down the toilet. Whether these items clog up the toilets themselves or the pumps that we have. We spend a lot of time, a lot of effort cleaning these out on a regular basis. Certainly with the events that are going on, these problems are only getting worse. So if we could ask for your help, please pay attention to what's being flushed. As far as projects throughout town, the project on Scott Hill Boulevard has been pushed back a day. There will be a new code red going out about this. It's going to be Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday for Scott Hill Boulevard. And lastly, you might see some activity up at the Walmart Wednesday night. This is planned for about 10 o'clock. There's some work that's going to be going on up there, just so everybody's aware. If you see DPW activity going on up there, that is planned ahead of time. All right.
Great. Thank you very much, Jesse. All right, Mr. Frayne, do we have any questions that come in over the weekend?
We do have a few questions. One, because so many checks are going to be distributed electronically, does anyone know if there will be any delays in our regular monthly Social Security check deposits? I haven't heard anything that would be the case, and certainly if there are difficulties like that, I think that they would be universal, so there'd be a lot of discussion about it. So I haven't heard anything with regard to the checks being held up. I do know of some people that received their stimulus checks over the weekend. So that has started. By checks, I mean direct deposit. And I know the unemployment is kicked in as well. And a few people have asked about the unemployment benefits for people that otherwise were not eligible for unemployment, but under the CARE Act will be. And specifically, if you didn't earn $5,100 in the past year, you're not eligible for unemployment. Typically, but under the CARE Act, you may very well be. So pay attention. Our Human Resources Director brought it up at our last session about the website for the Department of Unemployment. So it's under MassGov. You can just Google Massachusetts unemployment. It's going to come up. They have webcasts every day that you can. Excuse me. Call from Portland, Maine. Someone's trying to sell me some gloves or something. But yeah, so you can join one of those webcasts to get the latest information on unemployment. What the site says right now is April 30th, the state plans to basically have up the information and the ability to apply for unemployment if you otherwise were not eligible for unemployment. And that's the new federal program. So for people that were underemployed, maybe haven't worked in 6 months, those people may very well be eligible for unemployment. But again, it's April 30th. That information will be up on the state's website.
And that includes the self-employed and the 1099 workers as well?
I'm not sure. They may be able to apply now. I'm not sure on that, but may very well be the case, but the state's done a good job with that information. Again, if you just Google Massachusetts unemployment, it's going to come up and it has all the information, the pandemic changes that have come up and those changes that have come up in response to the pandemic. And of course, a lot of it has to do with the CARE Act that was recently passed. A couple of problems we had over the weekend were people selling products on the curb, illegally selling gloves and other items at a ridiculously high marked up rate. When we see that, we're going to move those people along. So the police move them both along. That's not acceptable to be out selling a box of gloves for $80 and outrageous things like that. And there was also a thread on one of the social media sites. An elderly person was looking for some help with grocery shopping and put it out there. And again, our senior center can assist with those things as far as grocery shopping goes. So if people are having difficulty, we can point you in the right direction. Stop and Shop in South Bellingham has offered to help and assist with those deliveries. So don't hesitate to call us. I know a lot of times people get their information on social media, and a lot of people reached out to help the woman that was seeking assistance, and that's great. But we can also help you. Give us a call at the Senior Center. 966-0398 is the number for the Senior Center. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Great. So you brought up a few things from the state, and we have this morning in our state representative, Rep. Mike Soder.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me here. A couple of things on the state front. April 30th, the self-employed, and by April 30th, the self-employed and 1099 employees will be able to, hopefully the site will be up with this form. We don't generally have a form for that, so they have to create that form. So that's not going to be ready until hopefully by April 30th. That's what Labor and Workforce is telling us. The Secretary Acosta, who is Secretary of Labor for the state of Massachusetts, is also telling us. They're also launched the new form. If you are Spanish speaking, currently on unemployment, does not have a Spanish speaking or Spanish translated form, so that should be up and running right now. So that's moving forward. As far as the folks that make under $5,100, I believe that already got changed. So they have to just go onto the Department of Unemployment website. They should apply. They're probably going to get held up in the system. So if you do have that, you might want to just try reaching out to us, and we'll try to help you work through it through our office. My office, you can access my website, our website. We put everything in one-stop shop for everybody, so they're not scrambling and trying to find all this stuff that's essential for this pandemic. You go to Soder, SOTERRDP.com. We converted our webpage over to basically have all the towns that I represent, all their links, so anything you guys update goes on there. All the state websites, we even have the IRS links to that. Just a couple things on stimulus checks. If you had, if you already filed your taxes this year and you used a checking account to either pay your taxes or get your refund, that is where that checking account will be utilized. As long as it's still a valid account and it's open, that's where that check should go. And we're getting a lot of questions in because a lot of folks either went to a tax preparer who offers debit cards for refunds. I would suggest that you check to see if that debit card is still active. I would reach out to your tax preparer who did that, see if that's still active, because if that's still active, based on what I can see from the IRS website, that's where they will try first to deposit that stimulus money, okay? They also have a form that you can actually access if you did not file taxes under a certain income. You need to fill out that form soon. So a lot of seniors should go to either my website or the IRS website. But if you go to my website, the link is there. You can actually link on it, fill out the form online, and send it in. You've got to get that done soon because they really want all those filed by the 15th so that they can get those checks cut. Generally speaking, though, if you're a senior and you do receive Social Security, you're going to get a check based on where your Social Security is either deposited or mailed to you. Where we're so close to the date on this. I would suggest probably not messing around too much if you don't have a checking account set up already, or I wouldn't go and rush to set one up. I would just wait for the check to come in the mail. If you do not receive that, then we'll have to refer you to your congressman, which in this town, in Bellingham, it's Congressman Kennedy has a majority of it. If you're in precinct 4A or 5, that's Representative McGovern's office. I would suggest you reach out to their offices respectfully and ask them to help you navigate through that if you haven't received anything within the next couple of weeks. When they talk about paper checks, if you look at what the Secretary of the Treasury keeps saying that paper checks will be getting cut, this would be the normal week that Social Security checks get cut. So my guess is that during that time period is probably when the checks are going to get cut, because they keep referring to this week being the week that they're going to be cutting checks. So that's where we are with that. As far as Governor Baker's update today, I believe is going to be at 1 o'clock. I did post that, so that's already out there. You will be having his update. Testing is ramping up. You're seeing larger numbers because of that. It is going to be, I think, when we look at this so-called surge that's coming our way, I think what we're going to see is a lot of the surge coming from the amount of tests that are being done and how many positives that we have and how many folks that we have to admit into the hospitals that we have set up. They're going to be watching those very carefully. I think you're starting to see across the country, though, this is starting to taper off, but there's still hot pockets in certain parts of the country that are still very high. So this is going to be a very important next 2 to 3 weeks here for us to keep doing what we're doing, socially distant apart, stay at home, don't go out if you don't have to. I know this was kind of tough for a lot of folks for Easter to do, but I think everybody did a great job doing that. I think that is what we have to keep focusing on and making sure that we can control this pandemic that we have going on and keep our numbers low. The one thing I like that you do here in Bellingham is that you report how many people have recovered, which I think is very positive. We've been getting a lot of questions asked. Why doesn't the state tell us how many people have recovered from this? I ask that question every day. I can't, I know a lot of people are asking me that. I can't tell you why they're not doing it. I keep asking why we can't do it. But I think part of it is that they want to make sure that I think those numbers are accurate, and I don't think they have a very solid way of reporting that. So that might be part of the reason why they're not doing it. We're here to help. We had a great weekend serving a lot of meals to those that need or are vulnerable this past weekend. We probably could have served another 1,000 more. But we had some great volunteers, town officials, people that stepped to the plate through all 4 of my communities. But it was great. And just remember those folks need as much help as they can because they're staying in their homes. They're doing what they're supposed to do and they're vulnerable. So the last thing I want to talk about is just from a state perspective is people, seniors really should be very careful of folks taking advantage of you during this time. They know you're vulnerable. They know that you're scared. And they'll do things like set up shop out in front of senior homes and in high populated areas selling sanitizer. There's probably not really even sanitizer, selling gloves, personal protection equipment, and things like that. Please don't engage those folks. Like Dennis said, I know they're sweeping through the town and moving those people along. But there will be people that will call you. I know a lot of you reach out to me on social media. I would ask you to keep it very basic. I really wouldn't want people to tell me that you're a senior and this is what you're getting or help with, you need help with. Please email me at Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L .soter, S-O-T-E-R at mahouse.gov. That's the safest way to send me the questions that you're looking for. Social media is great for a lot of things, but it's also great for people who want to take advantage of people. So please reach out. If you do need help with groceries, that's a great way to contact me. We will source you how to do that. Last thing you want to be doing on social media is letting people know you need help with groceries and things like that, because they are trolling you and they'll take advantage of it. So please don't open yourself up for that. We want to keep you as safe as possible and make sure that we're protecting you as citizens during this time. There's been a lot of questions about price gouging and things like that in Centertown. I would just ask you to refer those to the AG, go to the website and report those. Just keep in mind that supermarket chains are in a supply chain problem, and you might think what's normally $1.50 is now $2.69 or something like that. You got to keep in mind that they're bidding on trucks. Their cost of goods are higher, so it's not really necessarily that they're price gouging. It's just the cost of goods are higher, and any kind of contracts they had with any kind of vendors or manufacturers, those are going to change. But gross negligence, you'll know that, and you should report that. But just keep in mind that I would nicely discuss that with the store managers if you can. And I just kudos to all the supermarket chains doing what they did with the arrows and the social distancing protocols. Stepping to the plate is amazing. And then if you're a grocery store worker, the governor on Friday released that you could use the first responder testing site in Foxborough. You have to show one of the you don't actually have to be symptomatic. You can actually work through your supervisors at the grocery store. They have the information to set that appointment up for you. You still need to have an appointment to go there, but that Foxborough facility is used for first responders and now grocery store owners, and a lot of nurses and doctors and frontline people have reached out to me. They actually can get tested through their hospitals. They've always been able to do that. I think there was some kind of misguided information there a little bit, or crossed information. They just have to show one of the symptoms or have one of the symptoms, and they should be able to get tested, priority tested. Mm-hmm. So again, just reach out to me. You can actually get through my website. You can actually contact me with questions, and we're here to help. We do constantly try to update as much as we can. Every day we update the numbers, the governor's nightly recap of the day. That has a lot of information, but please understand where you're getting your information from and go to those resources, because that will help you navigate this process. And that's what I have. Thank you very much.
Rep. Speaking of those resources, Deputy Chief, want to share some of those?
Okay, no problem. Thank you. If you have any questions in regards to the Corona-19 for Massachusetts, it's 211. And if you have any problems or concerns with your place of work, you can call the Mass Attorney General's at 617-727-3465.
Thank you very much. Again, the purpose of these this outreach is to provide you with the most recent and most accurate information. As Rep. Soda said, Mr. Frayne said, sometimes you'll see things on social media. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. So you want to make sure you reach out and verify any information that you may be hearing. Once again, you can contact the town at COVID-19 at bellinghamma.org with any questions, comments, or concerns you may have. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay distant, not too distant, at least 6 feet, and make sure you wash your hands. Thank you very much. Have a great day.